Hello everyone, welcome to Stamping with Jody. I have a fun card to show you today. It also has kind of a unique technique. Say that 3 times fast. I don't think I can. So anyway, I want to, first of all, yesterday we talked about the fact that my Mango Melody marker was having an issue. So here is my marker. Hi Mary, glad you're here. It needs to have a little bit more ink. Now you can see that I have kind of chewed up the edge, not literally, I used pliers, and I really couldn't get it to work. Hi Priscilla, glad you could come. So I actually figured out that if I took my pliers and grabbed the nib of it very gently and you pull it out just like that, and then I'm going to add a few drops of re-inker. It has a long tube down in the center, so I don't know really how many drops of ink I should be putting in here, but I'm just gonna, I guess I'll stop there because I don't really know. And I'm gonna put the nib back in there. And then I think what I'll do is I will, I don't know if shaking it helps. So, hi Jennifer. Glad you are here today. So I don't know. I just was showing the girls how to re-ink their marker. So it still is a little dry looking. So I think what I'll do is I will just leave it standing up so that the ink goes down into that nib. And while I do that, I will show you our card for today. We're going to be working with the Seaside Notions. It's a stamp set that I have kind of used a little bit. I buy all of the stamp sets that have anything to do with the beach. Hi Amy, glad you're here. Because I do scrapbooking a lot with the beach. So let's go ahead and get started. This is kind of a cool technique actually. So I'm going to start with just a little piece of paper, and we're going to start with the soft suede and this cute little seahorse. I'm going to stamp him on here just like that. Now while your ink is still wet, take one of your blender pens and just pull in that color. It's a water-based color, so this way you don't have to get out your markers, you don't have to get out your blends. It's a quick color, and you just go through the whole thing. And if you want some spots where you'd like it to be a little bit darker, then you can use the lid of your ink pad with a little bit of ink on it, and you can add a little bit of a darker look to it, just like this. Okay, now there are no framelits for this particular stamp set, and I really wanted to have my seahorse popped up. So I went ahead and I already colored one and cut one out. Everyone pretty much knows how to cut out now, but this is really kind of how you want to do this technique. And I want to make his eye just a little bit darker so he kind of looks like he's looking at something or someone. So all right, so I'm going to put him aside, and through the magic that is my studio. There he is. You can see that I added a little bit of darkness to it. Yeah, Priscilla, they do come out. I don't know why they don't, like the whole plastic end. See, I was trying to pull this whole piece out and it was turning, but I couldn't get it pulled out. So I thought, well, maybe if I just, oh, look at that. It's starting to come back to life. It's still fairly dry. So I'm just going to leave it standing up, and maybe by the end of our time together, it will have gotten clear down into the nib and it will work better. So yeah. Okay, there we go. My husband apparently forgot that I have Facebook Live at 4 o'clock. I'm sure it's really important that he talks to me. I'll call him back later. All right, so on with our card. Here is just a plain piece of white cardstock. It is 4 by 5 1/4. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Deborah. And so what I'd like to do is, I'm going to start with the Poppy Parade. I know I've used this color a lot. Oh, fabulous. How many of you get your hands stuck right in the ink? Happens to everyone. All right, so now I'm all cleaned up. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to stamp some coral. Oops, I'll do it right here so you can see what I'm doing. And I want to put a little bit right up here. And I'm just going to do them one at a time because you want to have your ink as wet as possible. Make sure that you don't do what I just did. It'll be okay. But make sure that you wipe off the tip of your blending pen so that you don't get the whatever color you just used on your card. And I don't know why, I am super messy with my ink. I have gotten more ink on stuff that I've been working on. It's a little frustrating, but it just means I have to be a little more careful. All right, so now I'm going to put this one, I think I'll put it over here and I'll stamp it off just a smidge. And we're in the same color, so I'm going to, okay. All right, there we go. There's that one. I'm going to add some more coral, but I want to wait until I do a couple of other things first. So the next one I will do is done in Bermuda Bay. And it is this little, I would say it is a type of nautilus shell, perhaps a gaudy nautica. That is a shell that I have often found on the beaches down in Florida. Make sure that I wipe off the red and then, you know, do the same thing. Pull that color in and don't wait. I mean, you do not want your color to dry too much or you'll have a more difficult time dragging your color off of the lines. This just kind of makes a nice soft effect. All right, so now we talked about using masks. I have not used masks so many times since I started at the very beginning of my career in stamping. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the Nautilus. Oh, of course I would drop it on the floor. Okay, so I am going to put this right there and cover it. It takes a while to cut these out, so I'm sure you all don't mind that I went ahead and cut them out. For those of you that haven't seen the other videos, this is crumb cake, and I'm going to do a sand dollar, but you have to, if you stamp it on the sticky edge of, not on the sticky part, but turn it over onto the sticky edge of a Post-it note, you can get it to stick and hold. Now I found that the crumb cake was not as easily pulled off, so I actually am going to use a little bit of what's in my lid. Sand dollars are, depending on their life and their death, they are a little bit of different colors. When they're still alive, they're fairly dark, and you can see their little feet on the bottom. They actually kind of spoke out around the perimeter of the sand dollar, and that's kind of what helps them. They dig down in the sand and they kind of bury themselves. But once they die, you can find them when they have just died and they are still kind of dark. But then those hairs that are around the perimeter are gone. I don't know what happens to them. I don't know if they fall off or if they just kind of stick to the actual sand dollar. But sometimes you can find them when they've been dead for a while and they're already white. So that's fun to find them when they're white like that. Okay, so now we have our nautilus, our sand dollar, and I'm going to cover up the sand dollar. And I'm going to cover up one of the coral. Coral comes in all different colors. All right, so then I'm going to, I think I'm just going to stamp it right about here. And then fill in with my blending pen. See, and it doesn't really take very long. I don't know that this is a technique you would want to make 100 of, although I can't imagine that you need to make 100 of this type of a card, but you might if you were doing like a wedding announcement. There's a lot of people that use shells if they're having their wedding on the beach, or if they just really love shelling and they want to have that for their wedding or their bridal shower. Okay, so now once we have done that, I am going to take this little piece and put that on there. And I'm going to use the soft suede. And in the set of the Seaside Notions, there is sand. And so you'll want to just kind of put some sand around and stamp it off a little bit. And then I'm going to take this one and move it over here. Ask me what a pain it was to cut out these little corals. They were something. I will just say that. They were kind of obnoxious, but you know, to make the card, it's kind of nice to have some fun techniques in here. All right, so let's put a little bit of dark right there. All right, so we're done with that. So let's take off our masks, and you can see there are images behind each other because of the masking. Hi, Debbie. Glad to see you. All right. So then I'm going to take the Thinking of You, and I am going to stamp it right up here. Perfect. And then we'll take the seahorse, and I already put dimensionals on the back of it because I thought I was going to complete a card earlier, and I thought, you know what, I don't really need to. I can complete a card later with the other seahorse that I already colored for you. See, it is right here. So then we are going to just put our seahorse up here, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to put this aside, and here is Coastal Cabana. I'm going to make this the base of the card. It is 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. Just going to flip that over like that. And then what I want to do is take the sand stamp. I want to clean it off. And I'm going to open the card and use the Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to put a little bit of sand all the way across, just like this. Let's see. I think this is good. All right, and then we're going to open up our soft suede again. It's kind of fun to add this little bit of texture to the inside. You can do that with any of your stamps, any of your cards that you make. You can put things on the inside. And I'm not even going to color him. I'm just going to leave him as is because you don't really need to color him. You can if you want to. All right, so then I am going to take our card and the snail. How many of you guys have been outside just sitting? It is so nice. It is the last day for a while that it's going to be this warm out, so maybe after you get done watching, you need to go outside and enjoy the sun, maybe get a little tan. All right. Super simple, so cute, and so easy to do. And then you have your little guy, and you can, if you feel like you need more space to write, then start on this side and finish over here, or just write a quick note, tell someone that you're thinking of them, and especially your friends that enjoy going to the ocean. The beaches in Florida are closed. They are really cracking down on people being on the beach unless they actually live there. Let's take a look at, stop talking about the beach because you won't get me to stop. Let's take a look at our Mango Melody now. So much better. So much better. Still a little dry, and I may have to add some more ink to the marker after a while, but I'm going to just let it sit overnight and see what happens and see what it looks like in the morning. As a reminder, don't throw away those masks. Just stick them on the inside of your stamp case, so that you can use them again, especially the coral, because they were a pain to do, so you don't want to just throw those away. So anyway, I know it's been kind of a short time with you all this afternoon, but I think that's not so bad. Just, it will get everyone outside and enjoying a little bit of sunshine before it starts raining. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Mary. So anyway, you all have a great afternoon, and I will see you back tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, and I'll have something else fun for you to watch. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.